Hello, everybody, and today I'm reviewing a movie I never thought I would review, but we are reviewing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Why review this in November? I don't know, why not? So it's more like a movie that tributes to 60s movies, that era of Hollywood, basically. And it's directed by Quentin Tarantino, a very unique director. And it stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, and a bunch of other actors. What I really liked about this movie was definitely the cast. I actually really liked the chemistry of Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt's characters. I don't know, they just seem like good buddy cops of Hollywood, and they play these. Leo's character is a character in this Western show, and Brad Pitt's like his stunt double. And Margot Robbie plays Sharon Tate, and she's easily one of the best parts. And this movie is like them trying to get through the days of the 60s in Hollywood. And I gotta say, this movie was definitely long, but I think there's a lot to love for this movie. I think easily the best part is Sharon Tate, Margot Robbie. I don't know. Margot Robbie just looks like Sharon Tate. If you don't know who Sharon Tate is, she was an actress in the 60s, and she was unfortunately murdered by Charles Manson and his cult. You can look it up. But he's in this movie, too, with his cult. They become relevant in this movie. But some things are altered, which I'll get into a bit. But Margot Robbie, she's in a lot of promotional material for this movie. She's on the poster. She's everywhere in this movie, but when you see her in the movie itself, she kind of just parties around and hangs out with her husband and her. But I did like her character. It just shows that Sharon Tate was kind of just having fun during her days of Hollywood. We even see her pregnant, which is relevant in real life. But we do get this movie theater scene. I might as well just talk about it. Margot Robbie is in this movie theater, and she watches one of her own movies, and she says she's Sharon Tate. And we do get this infamous scene that's probably famous, but if you know Quentin Tarantino, but Margot Robbie shows her feet in this scene. There's a lot of feet scenes. I'm not gonna judge Quentin Tarantino. That's his way of his own preference or something, but I can just tell there's a lot. But it's just nice that Margot Robbie is just happy in this movie. I think she grasped what made Sharon Tate Sharon Tate. I think it was a kind of like a love letter to her and her family, her legacy, and that's what I respect about it. And I feel like another highlight for this movie is Bruce Lee. I forget the guy who played him, but I don't know how to say his name. I'm not good with names, but he definitely killed it as Bruce Lee. I wish he was in the movie more, but we get this cool action scene where Brad Pitt and Bruce Lee get into a fight. And I always wanted to watch a Bruce Lee movie. It's just hard to find since his movies are decades old. But Bruce Lee is one of the best martial artists ever, and this scene just perfectly shows how the kind of actor Bruce Lee was. I'd always wanted to see the movie Enter the Dragon, since there's a poster of it I always saw when I used to do martial arts. But yeah, Bruce Lee was easily the best in this movie. We get a bunch of cool actors. We get Austin Butler from the Elvis movie. We get Kurt Russell. We get Timothy Olyphant from The Mandalorian season 2, Cobb Vamp. And I feel like as this movie goes on, we get to see Brad Pitt's character and Leonardo DiCaprio just going through Hollywood. They're just chilling. I also like Brad Pitt's dog in this movie. It reminds me of my own dog. Their friendship is so good. And this dog, he's pretty brutal when it comes to fighting. Yeah, he's super loyal to Brad Pitt, and they're just cuddly. But in this movie, Brad Pitt meets this one girl. I forget her name, but she is friends with a group of these sort of junkyard people who hang out there. And she keeps trying to flirt with Brad Pitt. And he's like, "Oh, how old are you?" And she, I don't know, it's just she's way too young for Brad Pitt. Like seriously, like Brad Pitt. If you really the age gap in these characters is Brad Pitt's 40 and she's like the actress. I don't know how old she is, but she's probably in her 20s is my guess. But we get this other weird feet scene where she like puts her feet on like the window. It's just I'm sorry to talk about feet in this. It's just like it's so obvious why Quentin Tarantino put it in there. But they go to this junkyard. I feel like the best scene in this junkyard scene is where Brad Pitt gets insulted by this one guy after he leaves, after he's seeing that these people aren't really good people, maybe. But we get this brutal scene where Brad Pitt picks up the guy's head and then just smashes it onto like his car, like a fence. And yeah, it's brutal. And I think as this movie goes on, we get this iconic scene where Leo and Brad Pitt are just hanging out, smoking, drinking beer, and they're watching TV. And then Brad Pitt is like, oh, like pointing at something. Every time I see something I like or something I know that's a reference from something, I always go, oh, like that. It's a good meme. But the final battle in this movie is where, if you don't know in real life, Charles Manson, the reason why he killed Sharon Tate was because he sent his cult to a house that he originally lived in. He was pissed off because some producer and Sharon Tate moved in to the house, and he wanted the house for himself, and so he sent his little cult to go after them. And unfortunately, that's where Sharon Tate was murdered. But in this movie, it's altered, where it's the Manson family go into the wrong house where Brad Pitt and Leo are, and Leo's just chilling in his pool during this whole scene. And then, like, Brad Pitt gets into this final battle with the Manson family. Like, he is just going all in. Like, he grabs one of them and just smashes their head on the posters, the wall. He just keeps going for it. Like, it's definitely self-defense, I guess, since they broke into the house. And we do get Austin Butler's character, which is, he's one of the Manson's family. And we do get Mikey Madison, who's from the Scream movies. She gets burnt alive in this movie. Like, honestly, the Manson family definitely deserved... I don't want to sound weird, but, like, the Manson family probably deserved to get beat up in this movie since, I don't know, they're killers and crazy people who... Oh, man, I'm so sorry I said that. It's just, like, I don't know. Like, the way the Manson family is, like, they did awful things to Sharon Tate, and they deserve to be rot in jail for it. That's what I meant. I'm so sorry. But, anyway, he throws a flamethrower onto Mikey's character, and then she burns to death, like in Scream. Like, if you know what I'm talking about. And then she falls into the pool where Leo's like, whoa! And I think the rest of the Manson family is all killed or just brutally beaten up. And the dog, his dog is... this is how the dog is super loyal. Like, he ends up biting the balls onto one of the Manson family. Like, it's brutal. There's, like, blood everywhere. And so, I think the movie ends with our characters walking into the darkness of the rich mansion house or whatever. Yeah. So that's, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And we do get a few, like, cowboy scenes with Leonardo DiCaprio. And, that's where we meet Timothy Oliphant's character. I just feel like saying that, but anyway, this movie was really good. If you really like 60s movies back then, I think you'll have a lot of respect for this movie. If you're a fan of Sharon Tate, you'll probably like this movie. But my mom really loves Sharon Tate, and she's a big fan of her. Yeah, another Quentin Tarantino movie I saw was Pulp Fiction. I don't know if people comment if they want a review of that, and I'll check it out, or maybe I'll just review it if I want to. But I don't know. I don't know what the next review will be. I was thinking of... I think it was like a Jenna Ortega movie I wanted to review. Or something. But I'll give Once Upon a Time in Hollywood an 8 out of 10. I feel like the movie was a little too long and some scenes dragged a little. But I think I like this movie overall. So that being said, thanks for watching. And see you guys next time.